Welcome back to Project Noir. This is part 2 of our episode Black and Stereotyped. In this episode, we talk more about racism in the workplace as well as racism in Britain as a whole. Thank you for listening.
And I'd also suggest just more unity in the workplace. More unity, regular linking up at lunch. And me and Prince didn't even know each other. Then, there was a point when there was about 5-6 men in that lunchroom that we managed to just take over.
It's true. He single-handedly brought all the black people together, fam. Some of them didn't even come. Yeah. That's the thing. Some people just wasn't interested in hanging out with the other black people.
I was going into the canteen saying to people, well, look, we've got a little room upstairs. We can go and have lunch in and chat to things and have a laugh and whatever. Link us up upstairs. And then before we know it, we just start seeing people come in, put their head in, sit down. And it was a regular thing. People would buck up and say, yeah, D, you going up? Yeah. And then there was all types of different people in there.
The community was so nice to have.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't even lie.
Do you get what I mean? Sort of thing. And then that kind of just broke away. I was getting in trouble for taking the room. I was soaking up the
day they came up to the room, fam. It was stupid, fam.
Yeah.
I think it was just because you said that there was just a random leader just hanging around. It's almost like he was waiting for you.
Yeah.
Then he must have gone to sit inside the room, and then when he gets there, how can the guy go and bring like another team leader up to the room, fam? But obviously I'm there by this point. And there's a thing where they're getting on to us like, oh no, you're not meant to be in here, this, that, the other. Even though it says everywhere, like they even advertised everyone to come to that room. But it's a thing where no one did it because it was a bit quick to get to. But obviously now that it's become a black room, it's now a thing where they're now having a problem with it. Oh no, you're not meant to be here, this, that, the other. The people know that you're here.
Too many black people in the room.
He ended up just saying, I can't, like, you're wasting my time. This is my lunch break. Like, I can't, like, if you want to handle this another time, calm. But not right now.
Yeah, and the way I did it, the team leaders come in and they were like, and it got to the point where, like, it doesn't matter what type of black person you are. Do you remember, when black people talk to you but aren't looking at you? Like that sort of thing, especially when we're eating. Do you get what I mean? So me and them are eating, and they were like, oh yeah, the major issue is for us is you all being in this room. And I, without even looking, the bread was on my right hand side, and I goes, well, the major issue for me at the moment is my lunch is getting cold.
Yeah, that's what he said.
At that point, that shut the whole conversation down. The two of them kind of looked at each other and just left like that, because we weren't saying anything else. They were just sucking out our lunchtime. Did you see what I'm saying? Over something that could be dealt with after. Sort of thing. So Amazon, me and them ramped a lot. It got to the point where I found myself taking on most of the management, like on a daily. Like, and it got a bit institutional where if one person didn't manage to bring beef to me one day, they'd get their brethren who might have been a team leader to try a thing. Or they get their other brethren who's doing the health and safety mask to try a thing. So I was just getting picked off everywhere I was going. I was beefing every single day, innit, Prince?
Yeah.
Like, literally every single day you see me in the manager's office.
It's true now.
Or you see someone trying to warn me. Put it this way, I had two situations, One girl decided it would be funny one day to turn around and look at me and sing Bar Bar Black Sheep.
What? Bro.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I was like, what?
Yeah. So I'm working now, and I think to myself, hold on, it's 2020, I'm actually hearing this. I'm on the night shift, all you're hearing is machines bleeping and that place can make you trip. Do you get what I mean? So I'm thinking, am I hearing this or not? And decided that I am. So I look at her and I says, excuse me? And she's like, Bar Bar Black. I goes, no, you can't sing that. You can't do that. She goes, oh, it doesn't matter. I goes, it does matter. You can't. In the end now, she kept going on. So I went and told the manager. Manager said nothing. No, Darren, have you got a witness? Oh, she wouldn't do that, this and that, and that. So, all right.
In a place that they know you can't record anything from.
Do you see what I'm saying? So I've gone and told the agency now, The agency are the same. And I started telling all different types of management, and all different types of managements just started shutting doors on me. Now, at this point, being a black man, not only did it bun me when I heard it, because no one's dealing with it, the way I started to feel started to snowball. And I just started to get vexed over time, to the point where 1 month bust, no one's still done nothing. So I'm now getting into trouble for other things, but bringing up this thing. yeah, to try and defend me and try and say, well, the reason why I did X is because of Z.
And the thing is, yeah, you're having problems, but it's like other people's problems with you, fam.
Yeah.
And as soon as they report it, it's coming down straight to you.
Yeah.
Like they're handling it on the spot.
Yeah.
But your problem with someone else is waiting,
They'll
fam.
keep avoiding it.
Just keep avoiding it. So all these things kept happening. All these things, various different people started picking me off and this and that and that. And because I was defending it, like not shouting or screaming, but coming with proper talk and this and that and that and that, I think that started to infuriate people even more. I reckon the fact that I actually I got a degree of intelligence and stuff like that, and my responses and stuff, I think that started to vex people even more now. And it got to the point where one night an engineer decided to flip in and come to my station and tell me I'm an effing idiot, yeah. And this is because at one point during the night I saw him without his flipping mask on, and you got to wear a mask when you work in this place and all that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I said to him, why haven't you got your mask on? He goes, we all have to wear ours, how come you ain't got yours on? Yeah. Anyway, he put it on, we've walked away. Must be about 20 minutes, half an hour later. I'm there working at my machine and all them kind of thing. I needed to sneeze, so I pulled my mask down a little bit, I sneezed, and he happened to walk past. And then I think he's decided to switch it on me now because I had my mask half on. So he's gone, how come you ain't got your mask on? I was like, huh? And he goes, do you know what? You're an effing idiot. I was like, what? Like that. And he come closer, he goes, you're an effing idiot. And then he walked off down the back of the factory. So I've heard this now, and I'm following this brother saying, yo, you know, you can't say all that, blah, 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 blah. Two-twos now, we get to the manager, one brother called Pavel, yeah. I'll just bait him up, I don't think. You know?
I still haven't seen him, you know.
No?
Since the day you said he was limping, I still haven't seen him. This was like 2 weeks ago.
Anyway, I bring him to Pavel now. And I say, yeah, Pavel, this guy is swearing and that. And the brother turned around and goes, Pavel, sort out your effing staff. And at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, go on. So Pavel's going to say something now. Sure.
He did it in front of his face. Yeah, wow.
Pavel turned around and goes, Darren, what trouble you causing this time?
Oh,
and I'm thinking, what's going on?
And you came to him, fam. That's the thing.
And I come to him, like the manager said to directly support me and all them kind of thing there. So at this point now, I'm vexed now. I'm like up there now. So I said to Pavel, listen, Pavel, if you don't sort him out, I'm going to have to sort him out myself. Yeah? So in there now, me and the engineer start arguing. Yeah, I'm in his face now. Yeah, I'm pointing now. Blah, blah, blah. And I can't even remember what I was saying to this guy or whatever. But it's something along the lines of, you can't say that, blah, 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 blah. You're going to get into trouble, blah, 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 blah. So two-twos now, I was told to go outside and calm down. Yeah, done that. Come back in. Had to write a statement. Yeah. Two-twos now, I was actually suspended that night. Yeah, alright then, cool, they put me on full pay and all their madness. But yeah, I was actually suspended, yeah, but the engineer was allowed to remain on site and work.
That's ridiculous.
Even though it was him that directly caused trouble. Why was I suspended and he wasn't?
And it was you that reported it as well, fam.
It was me that reported
And
it.
there's a thing where if you ask for a reference now, they're going to talk about that, fam.
Trust.
They're going to say, oh, now he was suspended.
Yeah.
This, that, the other.
So I would probably
if you didn't report that, then you wouldn't have got suspended.
That's the thing.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, and then it leads
See
them
what
to
I'm
that,
saying?
fam. Should
I'm a
we
victim of my own
even be
honesty.
reporting our stuff to these people anymore, fam? That's the thing.
I would say,
we're getting trouble out of
still
it.
continue.
Yeah, of
still
course.
continue. And it's risky. It's risky. But one thing, that the mistake that I actually made, yeah, when the brother actually swore at me, although I took him to the manager and stuff like that, I was shouting, yeah, and you know what these people are like. Some of these people, when us black, we're all from different tribes and stuff like that. So, and we're all passionate. We all believe in all sorts of things. So sometimes when a black man or black woman shouts, it's not because he's trying to or she's trying to bad up people or intimidate people. It's because he or she are very passionate about what they believe in, and they're trying to express themselves in a certain way. But certain other people that aren't black will see that we're just being aggressive and all that kind of thing. So that's what I was seen on that night, because he wasn't being seen as aggressive. Yeah, that's part of the reason why he was allowed to stay on site and not get suspended, and I had to duck, because I actually broke. Not intentionally, but I actually broke one of their rules. If you're aggressive on site, then we can suspend in your arrest
Yeah.
site. So although everything that I was saying was true, the way I was conveying it was too loud. Although it was smart, clever, and all of that, didn't matter. I flopped because I spoke too loudly and too passionately, which conveyed itself as aggression. So they suspended me. So I come back.
So they'll push you to break a different rule, fam.
Trust
I've got an example, and I'll let you speak in it, but I'll come back to that.
Yeah. So I've come back now, and I was actually told he was put on a day shift. Yeah. So I thought, all right, go on. I'm never going to see this guy again. I'm on night shift and all them kind of thing. 2-2's now.
But the fact that he accepted that means that there was something that means he knows he was in the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
He knew.
And Amazon knows he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you asked me to move to day shift, I wouldn't. Because I'm losing £80 a week because of this.
But here
I mean, it was probably on the same. It was probably on the same pay scale that he's working.
Yeah, trust.
He's probably doing day hours on night shift pay, fam.
But there was a loophole in the thing. There was something which I actually wasn't told. 2 weeks later, when I was having a meeting with the GM, the black brother from Eritrea, who was supposed to be the brother who runs all the Amazons, right? He turned around and said to me, "No, Darren, you were lied to. He wasn't put on days. Engineers do 2 weeks on days, 2 weeks on nights. You might actually see him tonight." And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah? Like that.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't make sense for someone to switch.
What are the managers doing to manage what could happen if we do meet each other? He said, "Oh yeah, Darren, it'll be fine," and blah, blah, blah. So I then leave that meeting and keep working there thinking, right, what's going to happen if I actually do see this guy? And I didn't, which was great, yeah.
You didn't yet. That's
I didn't,
the thing. Yeah.
you know, sort of thing, which was great, you know, sort of thing. But then after that, all that kept happening was just different people trying to pick me off. Different people realising that, obviously, you know, if you ramp with me in a certain way, I'm going to kick off. So I had different people trying this and different
Trying to get a
people
reaction
trying
on
that. You know, sort of thing, which wasn't helping things at all. You know, sort of thing. So as I continued then, and moreover, because I kept having meetings with the agency and getting into different situations with different people that work there, my file is starting to get worse there now. Yeah, to the point where I'm starting to have all these different warnings thrown at me and all this kind of thing with no ammunition to defend it or at all. All I kept going back to, oh, the engineer situation, oh, the Baba Black Sheep situation. Oh yeah, Darren, we're investigating that. You know, we'll have some feedback for you soon. So in the end now, with the Baba Black Sheep situation, they shut the door on me and just turned around and said, well, look, Darren, you didn't have a witness, so we don't know whether it happened or not. Yeah. Secondly, with the engineer situation, again, because I was seen to be aggressive and stuff like that, they're giving me a final warning. Not no first or no second or even paperwork to support any of
straight
it.
to your
What
final
did
warning.
Did you get what I mean? Just
That's
straight
true. You
to
meant to
that.
have 3 warnings
Yeah.
on Amazon, yeah. Wait,
Straight
for what?
to
Did the incident happen just before the final warning, or was it just?
The incident that happened spurned the final warning. They gave me the final warning because they're saying when I was arguing with him, I was aggressive.
So it's like long after long after the incident, fam. They gave him a final warning.
You know, sort of thing. Then
I
after
think that he reported, fam.
Then after that, because I kept having meetings with the agency and all that, the time of task thing started to go left as well. So 2-2s now, that started to go left.
Wow.
Yeah, sort of thing. So 2-2s, the more I'm fighting them and trying to war them and trying to get justice for all this kind of thing, my performance started to go downhill. Yeah. Also, while I was suspended, I was supposed to have been given the opportunity to apply for what they call a blue badge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I come back now, I was told about being able to apply for this blue badge.
Actually, let me explain the blue badge. Blue badge is basically like a permanent worker. So
What, Dominic goes?
yeah. So right now, green badges, you work for like the agency, innit? So they kind of control things for you. If you have a problem, you go to the agency and this, that, the other. But obviously, you don't get any of the benefits for working from Amazon because you don't actually work for Amazon. So when you get a blue badge, you get all these benefits like you get Amazon discount. I know you get like they cover like some healthcare and some shit like that. So blue badges is permanent worker, all these benefits, all these things. The same pay rate, obviously, but it's more flexible with your shift and everything.
So 2-2s now, I come back off suspension, thinking, hold on, well, go on, what's going on with this blue badge thing? Next thing now, I asked the team leader, okay, so can I apply for this blue badge? The brother just turned around and said to me, no, Darren, you missed today. So I switched it and goes, how can I miss a day that I didn't even know existed and had no?
Because you have to be there for 3 months to get a blue badge. Yeah, this is probably like what your fifth month by now.
Yeah, maybe even bucking up on the 6th.
You know what I'm saying?
So I said,
long overdue.
how can I apply for something that I didn't know exists and didn't have any visibility over? Like that, I go, this is supposed to be an equal opportunities employer. I should be able to have had that equal opportunity. Yeah, which is a fair enough statement to make. Yeah. And don't ever be afraid, like, to speak this kind of thing if you feel that you haven't had an equal opportunity. It's better to speak the thing, get it out there, get it looked at, than work somewhere and not know and be para or blah blah worry and this and that. Just talk it, yeah. So 2-2s started getting chucked around all the management, all the team leaders and this and that. It turns out there's a specific department that deals with the applications for Blue Badge, yeah. They went back to them, yeah, and next door got closed again. So now I've been expected to just shush about the blue badge now, and I was also told because I've been in so much trouble and I've done this and I've done that, there's no way I could get a blue badge. And I turned around and said to them, well, I still wasn't given the opportunity, and I'm starting to wonder whether it's because of the colour of my skin, because I haven't been given an equal opportunity against every other race in here. And they just kept closing the door, yeah. So 2-2s now. They called me in for one of the last meetings that I had there, and they said, all right then, Darren, what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of the final warning that we give you for the reasons that you were given the final warning for. This is the mad bit, we're going to reissue you with a final warning, yeah, but for new reasons now. The first one being aggressive with the engineer, and the second one being time of task. And I says, well, how can we put the engineer thing on the final warning like that? He goes, oh, well, you shouldn't have followed him around the factory, argued with him. So I says, well, how was I supposed to identify who he was and keep him in eye view so that you could know who he was? I goes, it's a big factory, what's supposed to do? Just let him go like that after he said that. And they're like, well, Darren, because you were aggressive, we're giving you a final warning. So
they just changed the reason.
They're moving the goalposts all over the place. Yeah.
And but the time of task one, that's a big thing. That's a big dickhead thing that they've done to you. I can't lie. Yeah. Because there's a thing where the leaders are the people that track the time of task, and obviously it's the leaders that he's having meetings with them, so they know where he is. You know what I'm saying? That's annoying. Did they even ever ask you why your time of task is so high?
Yeah, and literally what they've done, they actually printed off paperwork. So all the times that I wasn't working, all them kind of thing, I had to sit down with a brother from the agency and go through all these times.
So they reported it to the agency.
You know, sort of thing. So all these.
So you explain it to someone you don't know.
1 minute there. I had to look at this document thinking, what on earth was I doing for 2 minutes there? But
even in 2 minutes and 1 minute,
yeah, and I said to him, his name's Michael.
Michael.
It's like 3:30 in the morning. We're having a meeting with all these numbers on and stuff. I goes, my head isn't going to be able to set itself up right to justify 1 minute there. And because why don't we talk about the biggest times?
How can you ask me what 1 minute?
Yeah, 2-2s now. We start talking about the biggest times, and it turns out the biggest times were either when their machinery wasn't working or when I was in meetings with them. Yeah,
that's the thing. So, but even the machinery you can swap from, especially the sticker. You know the sprue label. Gee, when that thing when it disconnects, that's at least a 3 minute job to fix it, fam.
It's mad.
Like, 1 minute could be tying your lace, fam. They ask you to explain that. That's annoying.
So,
that's annoying.
All these things I'm going through with them, sort of thing. And while I was on the final warning, every single day I came in, they kept reminding me of it. Like that. Like, there was one time where I came in and I said to Mohammed, the manager there, I said to him, listen, I'd like to come to work today without being told I'm on the final warning. Like, it's almost like I've got a noose around my neck. Because can I just come to work and do my shit?
So they kept telling you?
Yeah, bro. Like, every single day.
I'm on the warning, but since the day I got it, I've not... Actually, I'm on the final warning, but since the day I got it, I've not heard from it. Yeah. That's the thing. They're trying to get you out from.
Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Sort of thing. And it was at that point I started to realise I was being factored out of the business. Sort of thing. Which started to mentally come round to me and started to make me mentally feel okay. Because it got to the point where I just had enough. And knew that wasn't going to be my final resting place from an employment point of view and all them kind of things. But I was very, very mindful of whilst I was working there, I had to fight them all the way, all the way. If there was anything that there was an issue with, I had to stand up for, and I wasn't just standing up for me, it was for us people as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because after that, you know, I noticed now they're taking us more seriously there. They're just different with us now, the way they speak with us and all them kind of thing. And this is in Stowe upstairs as well, because there's a young man working up there who told me he's going through certain racism things there as well. You know, I noticed the black man or black woman, we work in various places, either manufacturing or in an office. Those are the two places that black people work in this country. The two places that, you know, send people to uni or, you know, I don't know, buy your daughter a car and stuff like that. We seem to rely on those two streams to actually make, and within those two divisions and within those two kind of lanes, that's where all this kind of systemic and institutionalized racism might actually happen. You've even got, and look at the irony in it, you've even got black people that are racist to each other within the workplace. And I know you're all looking at me like, yeah, but it's true. Like, you'll get a black man that is slightly higher than you come in, and he's looking at you thinking, nah, Jed, you can't reach higher than me, you know. You know, sort of thing. And if you haven't bucked up on this already, you're gonna. Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've never seen that, yeah.
You're gonna, but, and this all goes all the way back to slavery days, house and field slave. It hasn't gone away. We're not slaves anymore, but those types of black people still exist. And that's one of our problems as well. You know, within the offices, it's a lot more, I think the racism's more advanced and a lot more sophisticated. In a way where you got people walking around the sales floor or in an admin department or in an accounts department or facilities or whatever, and they're just dealing with black people in a funny way. In the warehouse, kind of manufacturing kind of lanes and stuff, it's worse. Because at the end of the day now, the managers aren't so close to the workforce. So within the workforce, Joe Bloggs can call Jane Thomas, black, whatever. Jane Thomas can go and tell her manager, oh, have you got a witness, Jane? No? Sorry, get back to work. You know,
and they know the story before you even get there.
Before you
so
even
they already know what to say to you.
Before you even reach. In an office now, it's more sophisticated, like that. A brother isn't going to turn around and call Jane Thomas an N-word or whatever, but he might par her from getting a day off next month because she wants to spend whatever with her daughter because he knows someone in HR. You know, them style. Yeah, you know, sort of thing. He might decide, right, okay, she's not going to get her maternity leave because she didn't do X, Y, but because he knows someone. Oh, she might not get her holiday pay because he knows someone in accounts. But who does the black woman know in accounts? Or who does the black man know in HR? No one. So he's turning up each day. He's in a team of accounts people or admin or sales or whatever it might be in the office. He's working his guts out with a certain man talking about strip club they went to or casino or whatever. But when the sales meeting's supposed to happen every Monday morning and stuff like that, you make sure you got your report all set up and whatever. And then certain white man will come in, laugh and blah blah and coast through the whole month, not doing any work at all. But if you even miss off part of your thing, you're in an office, you're back up against the wall and this and that and that and that and that and that and that. You know, so it's like we're being seen to have to work the hardest wherever we're working, but we're not getting the same rights or benefits as every other race that we might be working with. Even the Romanian and Polish people, that some of them have only been there for a few months, if that. And all that's happened is the reason why they've seemed to have reached to higher heights than us, they've been more united. So they'll put £1 with the other. One of them will put another pound together with the other and go and rent a flipping 2-3-bedroom house. Whereas we're still scratching around trying to do this bit because we're not linking up. You see what I'm saying? You know, that they're rising way higher than us, bro. Like, and we in one breath we have to say, well, fair play, but in another breath it's because they've just been going around darking people. I notice as black people, we're the only race that's onlooking everybody else. It's like we're looking at we have the same opportunity, the same capabilities and intellect and intelligence to not only meet everyone else's success level, but surpass them. But we're like outside wanting to come inside the dance. and we really need to address why. And they know it. The people that are against us know it. That's why they don't. These days, back in the day, they used to have to work hard to come with all this racism or whatever. Nowadays, they don't even really need to bother. We kind of seem to fall into their traps.
Yes, it's institutional at this point. That's the thing.
And I just don't understand why. There's sort of thing. There's a lot that we could do to protect ourselves. Do you get what I mean? We've got no. We don't hold regular meetings with each other. We don't share knowledge with each other. Sort of thing. A black man will, even with his family or his friends or something, we don't share much knowledge with each other. So, we don't progress. We're on our own in terms of having to stand up for each other in workplaces and stuff like that. When I was working with Prince and all them lot at Amazon, if one of them buck up in something with a manager, I'd walk over and I'd be there as well. Or I'd be looking over, or I'd be getting involved, and blah, blah. I wouldn't just let people just sink. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're just not backing each other in that kind of way. So this thing could continue, really and truly, sort of thing. So all I would suggest now is that we just got to change how we're facing people in the workplace now. We're just going to continue to just get made fools of, sort of thing. Like, we've got to demonstrate how clever we are, because I've noticed I've been in certain company recently when I talk in a certain way, certain man will be like, oh yeah, D, you've sold out. How come you're talking like that now? How come you're using that word? You don't need to talk like that around us, and blah, blah, blah. So we kind of par in our own, how can I say, how capable, how capable we could be from a vocabulary point of view.
Because it's like we're feeding into the stereotype sometimes. Like
we definitely do.
People like don't pride themselves on being able to articulate themselves.
We definitely lower our expectations.
If you're right, it doesn't matter who you're with. Yeah. If you know a string of big words that most black people would probably never use, don't feel like,
place for using.
I'm with such and such now, blah blah, so I can't use that. Bust it same way, because at the end of the day now it might educate other people.
Yeah, teach.
We're not gonna be able to flipping rise up from an educational point of view if we're not demonstrating our skills to each other. Do you get what I mean? Like, our speak isn't fit for purpose out there. It's not getting us nowhere. It's not. It's barely good enough for music. Like that. Do you get what I mean? And weirdly, our music controls a whole lion's share of the music economy, not just in Britain but around the world. But as soon as one of our artists starts getting barred, none of us are defending him. Like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Look at Wiley. Wiley's been cancelled right across the board. Like that, but no one's backing him at all because they're worried about deals or whatever. I think what Wiley done, he obviously had beef with his manager and his management label and stuff like that, and I just feel like instead of packaging up what he had to say correctly, he just let everything.
He said it how it was.
Yeah, just said it straight.
Like that, and then it was just conveyed negatively, and then he just got cancelled. And I think deep down, wherever he is right now, he knows that.
Yeah.
And we can learn from that. If something's happened and stuff like that, and we've been dealt in a certain way, like that, calm down, firstly, like that, calm down, work out what you're going to say, and how you're going to say it, and how you're going to deliver it, and make sure there's like a start, middle, and an end. And make sure when you finish defending yourself to whosoever, they can't come back with nothing. Because if you notice, whenever you're in trouble or whatever, and you're in a meeting with a white brother or a group of them or whatever, they've got your ass nailed to the wall and you can't respond with nothing. That's how they set the thing up. So whenever you're in a similar situation or the same, make sure everything that you're saying is so hard hitting, so clinical, so edgy. Yeah, when you done talk, the only thing the other people can do is just look at you.
And make sure you can't be misquoted as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't say anything out of place. If you say anything out of place, they'll grab that and they'll
use that.
Yeah,
they're everything else you said.
They're running with that.
They'll twist you up. So you're going into whatever meeting like, right, okay, I'm going to done all you lot's dance. and I'm going to make sure none of you can respond, and if you do, it's not going to test anything at all.
Because for them to argue back, it just takes one wrong thing. Or
It
like
just
what-
takes one
yeah,
wrong thing.
You know what I'm saying?
And a
It
lot
just
of
takes one
these
thing to
people
pick
aren't
up.
clever, they just feed on our mistakes.
Yeah.
That's all. A lot of them, if you really, really put them down to the nitty gritty, they're not actual clever people. You know, just to hit you with a fact, in the medieval times, 90% of Europe couldn't even speak English.
Yeah.
Like that.
No,
So
yeah.
really and truly, when you've got their politicians and whatever brandishing us as primitive and all these lower level words that they want to use against us, don't let that affect you or nothing like that, because at the end of the day now, you know, Europe was in medieval times, and in Africa and the Caribbean and in America where black people actually existed, we were living large. Like that. We had all the richest residuals and resources and all that kind of thing at our disposal. In Ghana they had so much gold they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Gold course.
Did you see what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, what's mashed us up is when we were going to school in this country, we weren't getting told black history. If I was getting told that I belonged to certain tribe, I'm a Maroon warrior descendant, and I also descend from the Asante tribe. If I was told that when I was going to Stockton High School, I wouldn't have needed to tump up enough man and this and that and that. But you know, they could have said whatever, and I'd have said, yeah, child's nothing. I stand on the shoulders of greatness.
Kings and queens.
Do you see what I'm saying? But I was being filled up with, and you know, some of us were. I don't know. You know, it depends on how long you. All of you born in this country? Right. Okay. So some of you weren't. Some of you were. So you know, most of us, predominantly across the board, were getting filled up with King Henry VIII and all this Mary Magdalene and all this kind of thing, and it left us wanting, thinking, hold on, what about our thing? Like, what is all this actually doing for us? You know, this, you know, the God Save the Queen thing that they make people sing. I stopped singing that years ago. After Stephen Lawrence, I stopped singing it. I stopped singing it.
I never learned
for two reasons. One of the main ones being, hold on, the lyric says God Save the Queen, but I've always thought to myself, well, why is she going to need saving, and what's going to happen to us? You know, them way there. I'm thinking, why am I singing to save a woman I've never met, I'm never going to meet, and leave? I'm being left out here. Well, go on. And after Stephen Lawrence got, I just want to say, I'm not singing that. You know, my man's been, that's happened to him, this and that, and they're still expecting me to pledge allegiance. So I stopped all of that. And another thing I would say is, you know, if you're ever in a situation, and whether it be physical or in the workplace, and your black people need defending, go and defend them. Don't just stand there, you know, sort of, because on the physical side, Stephen Lawrence, Dwayne Brooks run. He actually ran and left him. And the code back then was, if you go out together or you catch up in a little something with them or whatever, don't run. Dwayne Brooks apparently run. You know, sort of thing. And in the workplace, you know, people actually run as well. So if you see a situation happening, just get involved. Or if you know something, you know, just educate your people them on law.
Yeah.
Communication and law.
I think that's something as a whole, anyone who's listening to this needs to really take the time and try and learn how to properly articulate yourself.
Yeah.
And also try and learn the law and how things are, because you never know when you might have to use it.
Yeah. And when you're in crowds of people and stuff, don't be afraid to articulate yourself. Don't. You know, sort of thing, because for every single day that we're not doing that, either on our own or with our people, is every single day that we're actually pulling ourselves back.
Yeah.
Like that. And from a success and achievement point of view, we're going to get nowhere if we can't speak right. People don't, you know, we have to work a lot harder than everyone else. Like that sort of thing. And if we can't speak right, if we can't articulate ourselves right, if we haven't got the knowledge to get ourselves through every single day, whether it be running your own business or working in the workplace, because I run my own business as well, and I've been blocked in various different ways over the years and blah blah, but I've still had to keep pushing on, you know, sort of thing, as a black man and just as a person, you know, sort of thing. I think in our families we've got to start pushing our families to do things that black people don't usually do. For example, I don't know, horse riding, or become a violinist, or something. Did you get what I mean? You know, I come from a generation where if you wanted to do music, it was not, I could find your books. You go in uni, or blah 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 blah. You know, sort of thing. I think we need to break out of the culture where we're more supportive of our children and of our people. And if, I don't know, if one of you as a youth and decides they don't want to go uni, just because you might have been told, yeah, got to do uni, if you can see in your youth that it's just not for him and he's good at something else, then support him on that. Do you get what I mean?
Because uni's not for everybody.
It's not for everyone.
It's definitely not.
And there's no intrinsic lane that a black person or a black woman should follow because society says that they should. We're supposed to be exploring everything that we're capable of. Everything. And if it's good enough for everyone else, I don't know why it's not good enough for us. There's no stigma because you might decide you want to be a champion jockey. Yeah? You know, look at Lewis Hamilton. He decided to be a world championship racer driver. He grew up in Stevenage. I bet there were bare people laughing at him like, yeah, right.
And that's expensive to get into.
Right.
So your parents have to trust you.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
That's
you ain't
very
going to do
expensive,
that. You ain't going to... And he must have had enough people saying, black people as well, said to him, nah, Dred, you ain't going to do that. You ain't going to do that. When really and truly what they should have been doing was supporting him. But now, look, man could write a cheque for at least 500 mil and it would probably clear. No problem. You know? No problem. So, you know, I think we're victims of ourselves in the sense where we crush each other's dreams. We don't support each other enough. We give up too easy, especially in the workplace. If we're getting made fools of or we're getting treated in a certain way in the workplace, we give up. Because, you know, we're scared to lose our jobs, or we're thinking, oh, it's, or the age-old saying, oh, it's long. It's not long. It's not long. The more we say, oh, it's long, the more we're pulling ourselves back even more. Because the other brother won't say it's long, he'll go and chase after that. Like that. You know, sort of thing. We should be putting our stamp on everything else, everyone else's. And, you know, one of the main things that's required is money. You know, sort of thing. You know, we're not going to get bank loans and stuff like that. They don't want us to rise up like that. We've got to come together, put our own money together. And don't be afraid to do it. Don't give it to the banks, you know, especially younger people them coming through now, like that sort of thing. I think that young people are in the best place in Britain that there's ever been, especially from a technology point of view and opportunities point of view and stuff like that. When I was growing up, there was none of all of this. You know, sort of thing. That you had to either go into a manufacturing job. I had the army trying to call me up, Jet. Like that, and I was like, oh, Jet, what am I going to go and fight people that ain't done me nothing and for someone I'm never going to meet? So I swerved that totally. And when I talk to people now and say, oh, don't join the army, people are saying to me, oh yeah, Darren, you're being unpatriotic. And I'm like, well, my people are getting shot over here and this and that. How patriotic do you really want them to be? And furthermore, their army things mash up because when they get killed, they come back to Britain and part of their funerals a 21-gun salute. So they're being celebrated by something that actually killed them in the first place.
True.
You know, if I'm a soldier, don't bring me back to England and have 21 guns being shot if I just got shot in Afghanistan. What's my mother supposed to do with that? Do you see what I'm saying? So I just think, in one breath, yeah, black people should be policed, but then in one breath I think, nah, there's no point. Because they get the institutional racism as well. I think the rules in America, in Britain and America, has to change where we actually have to be given rights because we actually don't have any rights in this country or in America. And that's the reason why we're being treated as we are. You know, I would say the young ones have the best possible opportunity to really push this country forward now. The best, like that. And I think at the end of the day now, you know, push it. Keep going. You know, we need to have a black person seated in every tier of authority. So whether it be police, whether it be solicitors, whether it be QCs, whether it be interpreters, yeah? Because some black people go to police stations or end up in court and stuff and can't speak English and can't afford an interpreter, you know, sort of thing. We need to have someone there, you know. In terms of racism in Britain, at my age now, I just think it still exists, but it's more sophisticated now and it's more highly advanced. But the weapons that we have on our side are things like social media now. you know, sort of thing. And what I'm noticing, which is quite surreal, white folks are recognising that we got problems.
Yeah.
There's white people that are now recognising, whereas before they were just getting on with their day, doing their thing, not really being fussed. You know, where was it, Coventry or Bristol, where the white folks took down that statue? See what I'm saying? That was surreal for me to see. I was like, wow, really? Sort of thing. So now the racists, them that are trying to keep us back, they've now got a bigger problem because their own people are backing us now.
It's true, yeah.
And they didn't have a plan for that. So it's a good thing now, but the thing is, we got to keep it consistent. And what we've also got to do is stop using the term white people, because we're not cool with them saying black people. You know, and that's a generalisation. What we should do is come with more some of. Yeah? And then they might say some black. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Like, the generalisation isn't going to stop or have any sort of impact on it if we don't do something about it as well.
Yeah.
You know, sort of thing. Like, we got to start teaching our youths about white history. You know, so one of us might start, you know, might marry a white girl or have a relationship with a white girl that's got youths. You know, sort of thing. Next minute you're having mixed race youth. You can't just decide, oh, because you're passionate about black people, you're just going to teach your youth about black. You got to teach your youth about white history as well.
True. Yeah.
If we really want this thing to work, you know, sort of thing, I think our minds have to be so open now to everything. Do you get what I mean? Don't lose sight of who we are and stuff like that, but definitely recognise other people, because there was probably white people back in the day that tried their best to defend us. I went to Stopsy High School and there was a gypsy boy there called Frank, Irish boy. So whenever I was fighting races, Frank would fight them with me, like that, you know, sort of thing. So that's just an example of, there's been white people there that have backed us sometimes more than our own black. It doesn't give us the right to then generalise them all, you know. We need more powerful white allies, like that. We need to move away from this attitude where we see the sucking up to people and stuff like that. It's not sucking up, you're building allies. Because if your own black people aren't helping you, you need powerful white ones to get to where you need to be, and then do what you got to do after that. And that's just how it works. We've got to stop segregating ourselves. Too many young black boys stay in, like, oh yeah, I'm not going out. Oh, I'm not seeing any girls this weekend. Oh, I've got nothing to do. I'm alright with my own company, you know. All them little cliches. But if you look across all the different races, it's just us segregating ourselves. Procrastinating. Doing nothing. Being angry at the world and why we haven't had this opportunity or that opportunity when everyone else is out socialising. We don't have to be out getting smashed and drunk all the time. There's plenty of things that a black person can do with his, her or their self, rather than stay in their house, listen to music or whatever, and not go anywhere and not do anything because they've just decided to just not be involved because they think that's the right thing to do. You develop mental health issues that way. You know, humans aren't set up to be on their ones.
That's true.
We're set up to socialise and enjoy stuff and see people and all them kind of things, because everyone else is, you know, sort of thing. You know, we need to look out for each other a lot more. Like, sometimes you might hear, oh yeah, what happened to my man? Oh, I haven't seen him for months, you know. Like, there actually might be a problem with that brother. Ring him up. See Guan. Link him. Do you know what I mean? Link up with people that you haven't seen in years, because they might be in a job now where they might be able to get you through.
Yeah.
Generally, it's more unity that's actually needed.
So like, if I was gonna ask you for like one last piece of advice for like anyone who's going through anything, like any age, any black man who's just trying to make it through the world, whether he's trying to get promoted or whatever, what would you say to him, fam? Just to wrap it up.
I would say furnishing themselves with as much knowledge as you can about all things, even random things. Because sometimes you might be in a crowd of people and there's a conversation happening and you can't add to it because you don't know anything.
True.
And you haven't tried to school yourself up with knowledge. Even if you don't like that subject. You might be, you know, if you can contribute to a conversation, especially if it's in a work environment, then that might help you a few weeks down the line or a few months down the line, because the manager might think, Steve, he's interested in that.
You see, talk
about it. I might bring him in. But you might not care. You might not give a damn about that.
That's so true. I didn't even did that.
But because you can talk about it, the manager might look and think,
is your ticket in?
I had them down as just talking about hip hop and whatever.
See, because we put things down to race a lot, but that barrier can be overcome.
Yeah,
I can't lie, it can be overcome.
School yourself up with as much randomness as you can, much information about how the world works, how the world connects, history. People oversee history, but it's a very impressive thing to talk about. If you're in a crowd of people and one person's discussing history and then you can bad him or her up with something better, you then take over a spot. People are looking at you now, not him or her, they're looking at you and they're impressed with you. And that, when people are impressed with you, it creates intrigue and curiosity. And intrigue and curiosity can lead to promotion or success. Like that. When people know what you're capable of, they're not really bothered with you. When people know what you're capable of, but know you're capable of more, then they suddenly want to know about what all these different levels are.
Then they invest.
Then you start getting taken down a totally different journey, like that.
It's even true. Even in things like schools, fam. Once you're that high achieving kid, it's like you're in different spaces to the rest of the black students.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Sort of thing like that. That's what I would say. Schooling yourself up with as much knowledge as you can. Yeah, and have an understanding of not only black history, all types of black history and all types of white history as well. Yeah, learn about politics, the different types of politics that exist. Years and years ago, I didn't give a damn about American politics, but nowadays I've seen how it actually affects me directly. Do you see what I'm saying?
Because President America is the most powerful man in the world. At any point,
sort of thing. We need to know how the UK connects with all the rest of the world.
Yeah.
How powerful it actually is. What do we really know about this country as a whole? Sort of thing. We need to know its inner depths, how powerful it is, its money stocks, where it all come from. Most importantly, we need to know about who we are. Sort of thing. When I was working with Prince and all them lot, I could spot someone from Eritrea and know they're different from someone from Somalia, whereas the general public will just look at someone from Eritrea and Somalia and decide they're both from Somalia because they share the same sort of facial features and skin pigmentation, like that. Sort of thing. You just got to know these things. There's 36 different languages in Ghana, like that. I've only found this out recently. As soon as I heard that, I felt like a stronger brother. I was like, wow, I'm actually connected to that. Do you see what I'm saying? Different trinkets of information can make you go forth and make you feel stronger about who you are, and you'll tell other people as well. There's no need to. We don't need to be racist to the white people. We live on planet Earth with them and all that, but we don't need to generalise them. We just need to say some of, but we just need to be mindful of the fact that some of them are wicked and evil, and they don't want us to thrive at all. But we need to fight them a different way than taking to the streets or being verbal or seeing who can cuss the most lumber clerk this and whatever. It's not about all of that, because then we're just seen as primitive people.
And that's what they want.
We're just seen as primitive people, sort of thing. We've got to speak in the same level as articulation as them. We've got to know exactly what they do. We've got to have an articulate response every time they're trying to do us this or doing that. We've got to stay calm. The warrior in us will make us rise up and shout this and shout that. Sometimes we can't help it because genetically, like that, the warrior slave is in all of us. That's why some men have such a temper and then they're just seen as bad youths or whatever. They're just understood. But we just got to remain calm. Focus on speaking clearly about things like that, and being able to reason with people and all them kind of way. And most of all, build allies, even if it's with a cleaner at your workplace. Sort of thing. And that's that. I've got to the point where when I was younger, I was probably very angry and argumentative because I wasn't channeling what I say correctly and stuff like that. But these days, now I'm older, I know exactly what to do.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, man.
Fam, I can't lie, you have blessed us today, fam. I can't lie. You came and dropped knowledge today. I can't lie. I'd be lying if I said you weren't coming back. You are definitely coming back, my bro.
Yeah, I'd like to.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
There's a whole heap of, there's enough I'd like to discuss. And if there's anything anyone wants to know that I know, sort of thing. Get in touch.
I say before we go, definitely let everyone know you can get in touch. Tell them about your modelling stuff and everything, man.
Okay, so my name is Darren Cameron. I own a model and promotional staffing agency called Reflection Models. You can hit us up via our website www.reflectionmodels.com. Our Instagram is quite simple, @reflectionmodels, and my Instagram is Darren Cameron. Putting Darren Cameron into Instagram, you'll find me there. You can email us, info@reflectionmodels.com, or you can email me, Darren C, @reflectionmodels.com.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, and all that kind of thing as well. Been doing this about 10 years.
Come on, man. Okay, so everyone, I hope the episode hit you, man. I can't lie.
Thank you for having me. I really wanted to express as much as I could express. I know we're how can I say, restricted by time. I'm trying to condense everything, sort of thing. But another time, I'll certainly come
back,
in
bro.
And discuss it. And if there's certain subjects that people want us to talk about, happy to cover those as well. Still,
definitely. Thank you, man. Everyone, until next time.